You will get the most from any Systems to Win video when you launch it from its video homepage.
When you download your free trial, you get a dozen time-limited trial templates, and you also get another dozen templates for process improvement that have no expiration date. You can use those for the rest of your career as a free gift from Systems to Win. And those free templates include both an Excel-based A3 template and a Word-based A3 template. So be sure to see our online training and videos for related topics on how to get the most from any Word template and how to do all 8 steps of the Toyota 8-step problem-solving method. So the purpose of this video is to give you some tips for how to get the most from your A3 Word template, and what you learn here you can use with any of your other Systems to Win Word templates. So the first question is, where do you find your Word templates? And the answer is not that intuitive, because you open your Systems to Win Word templates through Excel. In Excel, you open the Systems to Win tab, and then notice that there are actually 2 A3 templates, one in Excel and one in Word, just like there are 2 5S templates, one in Word, one in Excel. And you can tell by the Word or Excel icon, but also, if you're like most people, you've already used the View tab in Windows File Explorer to show file name extensions. And if you've already set up your computer that way, then back in Excel, when we do the exact same thing, Systems to Win tab, Systems to Win templates, now we see the file name extensions of either DocX or XLSX. So let's select the A3 Report Word template and click the Open button. And then down in the System tray, the Word application will flash a few times to remind you that you need to click it to open Word. Now it's rare, but if you ever get an error when you do that, then the fix is to open Word in the background first, and then come back into Excel and do this exact same thing, and everything will work just fine. Now if your A3 report opens up and it does not look like this, then that is because the view settings in your computer might need adjusting. Maybe you have web layout selected rather than the preferred print layout. Or maybe your Word is set up to display just one page instead of multiple pages. So when you're viewing it correctly with multiple pages in print layout mode, now this should look like a familiar A3 report, with the left side being where you define your problem and the right half being where your team will come up with countermeasures to attempt to solve the problem. Now that we have found our Word template and we have it open and we've got our view settings set up correctly, let's learn how to find help. Let's start by opening the Word training. Hold down the Control key when we left click our mouse, and that opens up this online training page that has this table of contents, that has training sections for what we just learned: how to find and open a Word template, how to view and print layout in multiple pages. There's also a section that you can review on your own for how to translate a Word template into any language. Let's skip over that for now, and let's now learn how to use Microsoft Word's features for form fields. And it says right there, this really is important. Important enough to take a moment to make sure you truly learn this. So let's do it together. Your Systems to Win templates have 3 ways to highlight form fields. You can set up Word to highlight the form fields in gray. You can press Alt F9 to make them really stand out, but you always can find them by looking for the help text that is enclosed in those placeholder brackets. See those greater than or less than signs that have words in between them? All of these are highlighted in gray to make it even more obvious. Those are form fields. Now that you've found them, let's learn how to use them. Let's select this first one. And notice that as soon as we start typing, the help text goes away. Now let's select the help text for date and replace it with a date. Select the help text for author name and replace it with a name. It's that easy. In this way, your Word templates give you plenty of useful help that then goes away when you no longer need it, leaving a nice, clean, finished document. And in addition to the link to the online Word training that we already saw, each Systems to Win Word template will also have links to online training that is specific to that template. Once you've learned what you need to learn, you might just delete that help. Similarly, if you don't want to use these tables that come with the default template, just delete them, freeing up space for what you want in your A3. Your A3 report has a link to online training for approvals that opens a training page where you can learn how to use your approvals template, which some experts believe is the single most powerful aspect of the entire A3 problem-solving methodology. But if you've got a better system, you can use your Systems to Win template to do it your way. But it would be pretty unwise to delete this link to the A3 training page, where you can scroll down to find the Contents sidebar, where you can quickly jump to the training sections within this page, including step-by-step instructions for each of the 8 steps of the A3 problem-solving method. And you can jump to the instructions for how to set up your printer that has its own training video to explain how your default A3 template comes pre-formatted to print on 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11 or A4 size paper. And if you have a printer capable of printing on either A3 or 11 by 17 paper, then it teaches you how to set up your printer to do it that way, using everything you know about familiar Microsoft Word.